Welcome to the True Love Secret Revealed Summit. Today we have Hemal Radia with us. Hemal is a globally recognized manifesting super coach, author, and speaker with over 25 years of experience helping people tap into the law of attraction to create extraordinary lives. Today, he is going to be teaching us manifesting through love, deep connection from heart alignment. How beautiful. Thank you. Thank you for being here. Welcome.
Thank you, Natalia. It's great to be a part of this magnificent summit. It's wonderful to be here.
Thank you. You're so sweet. So, my first question for you, it's I'm so happy to have you because it happens a lot with our clients that they get to a point where they are in this place of I have been visualizing and trying to manifest the right partner for a long time. Why isn't he here? Why? What's happening? It should be here. And I understand it's so frustrating. So, could you please give our audience hope and some wisdom regarding this so they can handle it?
Hopefully, we can add a lot of hope and maybe even a lot of confidence and expectation going forward from our conversation. So,
Yes.
it totally makes sense about visualization. So realize that visualization is a tool, just like lots of other manifesting techniques. It's not the be all and the end all. And at the end of the day, if you manifest something, or rather when you manifest something, it's because of your vibration and your energy. So visualization is a tool to work with your energy and your vibration. So if you've been visualizing, it depends what you've been visualizing, how you feel about it. So the key thing is the feeling. And the idea is that as you visualize what you want, it feels more and more real until you can almost grab it and it's right here and it's living in your reality. And essentially, that I believe that's the way to manifesting, where you're actually embodying the energy of what you want to experience and you're living from it. You're not chasing it, you're not lacking of it, and you're looking for the outside, but you actually have it within you and you're operating from this energy, and then you're very magnetic and you attract it. So the tool of the visualization is really for you to align to you feeling what you already have within you right now. So in terms of the visualization, I would ask, like, how's it feel? Are you getting specific with what you want as well? So oftentimes when you start to visualize and start to manifest, oftentimes we tend to be quite general in what we want. Like if we're attracting relationships, it might be someone who's lovely and attractive and so on and so on. As you get into that vibe and you build that familiarity with that vibe and you expect it, you want to then hone in on more of the details that make it even more compelling and exciting for you. So will you be traveling together? Where will you go? Where will you stay? What sort of beaches will you go to? Will you cook together? What will your experiences as a couple be like? So you're getting into the details of it, not because you need the manifestation and you're trying to force it, but because it just feels amazing for you to experience it. So you are living in the energy of having this manifestation right now, which is very, very magnetic. So you operate from this place. Again, you're not chasing it, you're not needing it, but you become this life that you want to experience, and then that becomes very attractive. So going back to the question about visualization, it's really about using visualization or any other tools to experience more and more of what you want. And one clue is, if you ask yourself, if I have it right now, how do I feel? And notice what comes up. If there's a hesitation, if there's a doubt or some confusion, you want to explore that. So the idea is, when you visualize or use any other technique, when you ask yourself, how will I feel when I have it? Or if I have it right now, how would I feel? It should feel very exciting. And there should be no buts or hesitation. And you should be able to tune into your body and it feel very aligned and excited, rather than any doubts or incongruencies.
Right. Oh my God. Thank you so much. I love it. I love it. Yes. How do I feel? And if there is hesitation, that's where the work has to be done. It's not done yet. Sometimes we feel like, oh my God, I have been doing the work for so many years. I should be done by now. But unfortunately, it's not the way it works, right?
And that's the thing. It's like it's not about how long you've been doing the work. We're all on our own unique journey, so you have to respect that as well. Because let's say someone finds the love of their life in a week's time, it's
Oh,
okay. You're on your journey, they're on theirs, and that's okay. So you got to not judge or relate, or in a sense, that's kind of the ego operating. Like, oh, look, they attracted that so quickly, or they took so long over it, etc., etc. You're on your own path, and if you look elsewhere like that, you're just going to distract yourself from what you need to. It's like if you're looking outside of other people's journeys, that may not be reflective of your own journey, although you can learn from other people's experiences. But it's about tuning within, about where you are on your journey and what you need to do right now. So going back to what we were saying, it's really, yeah, it's, I'm trying to remember what the question was now. So really it's about tuning into what you need to do to get to where you need to be as to what's right for you on your journey.
okay. That's great. So what I get is if they have been visualizing for a long time and they haven't found him yet, it's the reason being is that they are not fully embodying the vision.
Yeah, exactly. So going back to what you asked, which is really about if it's been taking them for quite some time and why isn't it here yet? So really, the thing to explore is how do I feel about it? It's
Right.
the idea is it'll come in when you're in alignment with it. That's it. So it's not about time; it's about energy alignment, and that's the thing. It's about how long it takes you to get into that energy alignment, and the work that you do, the inner work that you do, and the realizations, the self reflection, any questions you ask yourself, like how would I feel if he or she is here right now? Do I have any fears? Do I have any doubts or conflicts or blocks about receiving this relationship into my life? What do I believe about relationships? What do I believe about men or women? And explore what comes up. And when you ask these questions, just write instinctively, just write whatever comes up, because you're then going to more of the instinctive part of you rather than the left brain logical conscious mind, which thinks it knows it all. But unfortunately, it's the actual more deeper, more holistic subconscious that where everything is stored. So more instinctive, experiential, that's where you'll get your answers. And hence, that's why you're tuning into your body, because that's going to tell you how you're feeling about something.
Oh, loved it. Loved it. I
Thank you.
just loved it. Thank you. So, next question. How can I balance letting go? That's hard to let go and taking action in the manifesting process.
Good question. And oftentimes, this almost seems paradoxical. If I let go, well, how will I attract it? Because then I'm letting it go. This is the thing. You're not letting go of the goal itself. You're letting go of the need, the resistance, the energy that's actually pushing it away. That's what you're letting go of. You're, in a sense, you're surrendering certain parts of it as well. But actually, the irony is that you're actually getting much more attractive to what you want by letting go. So if you want to look at it this way, it's like less is more. But actually, you're letting go of stuff that's actually pushing it away. So things to let go of could, first of all, could be about letting go of the past. Equating your life or judging your life based on what's happened before, other people, judging yourself where you are. So there's loads of things we can let go of. It could be judgments. It could be how other people have treated us. It could be certain emotions we need to let go of. Also need. So what do I need from the relationship I want to attract? What happens if I don't get it? Am I defining myself a certain way? Do I feel like a failure? Do I feel there's something wrong with me? Other people are in relationships or so happy. And of course, other people may be very happy. We don't know what's going on in their private lives, and it doesn't really matter. It's really about you being aligned to your path. And the irony is it's also loving where you are right now on your journey, whether you're single or whatever the dynamic is. It's loving where you are, embracing it. So you're not trying to resist it. And so it's like you're embracing where you are. You're letting go of the need for what you want. And so, in a sense, then you're very light about it. When we're not letting go, we actually become heavier about it, and we feel it in our bodies. And actually, when you let go, you actually become so much more. And that's the thing: your energy becomes much higher, softer, lighter, and very, very attractive. So, letting go is letting go of the need, the attachment, letting go to the past, expectations, how we judge ourselves, and all that sort of other noise. So we actually feel more freer, we feel more lighter, we're more responsive to our intuition, our ideas. Impulses come to us much more naturally because we've created the pathway for that. Whereas if we have a lot of inner chatter, inner thought, that sort of in a sense clouds out all the inner intuition, inspiration we're getting from ourselves and the universe. So letting go is actually so much more.
Oh wow, wow, that's amazing. That's amazing. That's great. Yes.
Thank you.
Oh my God, so much. So, how can we know if I am aligned to love? What are the clues or signs that tell
Yeah.
me? I am aligned. I mean, letting go, I imagine, is part of it. All of it is a big thing. But in your experience, after so many years of doing this, how can I know if I am aligned to love? What are the clues or signs?
Good question, and it very much ties in with what we've covered, which is again, how do you feel in your body? So when you start to envision in your mind the reality that you want to be experiencing, how does it feel? So, and like we said earlier, as you get into more of the details of it and the nuances of it that are right for you, not necessarily for anyone else, but what do you want to experience, not what other people you think you should experience, but what do you know? Otherwise, then you're letting other people's egos come into it, but you actually want to manifest from your own heart and your own true desires, not what other people think. So when you tune into that, how does this feel within you? And as you get more deeply into it, notice how it feels. It should feel very. This is the thing. Manifesting, I believe, is a process which brings you alive because you're flowing spiritual energy through you. So you're becoming even more alive. So as you think about your manifestation, it should be bringing you even more to life, shall we say, more enthusiasm and so on and so on. If it's feeling heavier, if it's feeling constricted, it's telling you that actually you're focusing on things that either might be from a judgmental place or an expectation place or other people think or something else. And you want to fine tune the alignment, the motivation, the inspiration for what you want in a way that inspires you. That's where it'll come from. So how do you know that you're on the right path? Generally, you'll tend to feel lighter, you'll feel more at peace, you'll feel easier, because oftentimes if you're chasing something, you're chasing it. It's hard work, it's energy. And usually we tend to chase things on the outside, which we feel are lacking within us. And so remember what I said earlier, it's embodying and operating from the energy of what you want to experience. It's actually, see, manifestation, although we think it's on the outside, it's really about tuning into what's already within us. The outer universe is already within us. So as we tune into that, as we let go of certain things that get in the way, such as limiting beliefs, certain emotions that we need to let go of, we're then getting in tune with the love that's within us, and then we attract it far more easily. So how do you know? You'll feel lighter, you'll feel energized, you'll be reflecting the energy that you want to experience, but you won't be needing it. You'll be non-attached to it. So that's the thing. We talked about letting go earlier. So it's being non-attached to what you want. So you'll be excited about it, but you won't be needing it, and you won't be very up and down. So the thing is this, is like if you attract a relationship from attachment, let's say neediness, then when you're in the relationship, you're going to be most likely projecting that neediness. So your partner will tend to feel quite heavy and constricted, and it's not going to be as easy or comfortable for them. So you want to attract it from a very powerful energy that energizes you and energizes them, where 2 and 2 make 5 and 10 and so on and so on. So in terms of how do you know, you'll feel it in your body, a sense of peace, your own energy, and it'll feel attractive. So in a sense, you'll be pulling things towards you or you'll be pulled towards what you want manifestationally, rather than pushing away from what you don't want, such as I don't want to be lonely, I don't want to be single, I don't want XYZ. So you'll be pulled towards what you want. It'll feel exciting.
Oh, that's wonderful. That's wonderful. Now, for the ladies that don't know about manifestation and visualization and this way of doing things, what will you say are the first step for somebody that, because everything you said sounds amazing. I mean, it's about feeling, it connects to women so much because we like to feel things, and it's about creating a feeling inside of us and a belief in that vision that we have, that we really don't need to get there. We are already here, living it and breathing it. So, what would be the first steps that you will suggest to a client, to a woman, if she has never been manifesting or visualizing?
Yeah. So, I mean, one thing I'm thinking as you're saying that is what I would invite our viewers to consider is some of the things we've mentioned. Have you experienced that in your life? Not necessarily just about relationships, but about anything. It could be a job or money, or when you let go of the particular possession that you wanted, suddenly it came into your life. So in a sense, be aware of this already having worked in your life, and you're now just becoming more and more conscious of it. So that's one place to start. So in terms of if you don't know about manifesting, where do you start? Well, first of all, realize it's essentially, putting it simply, it's about energy attracting like energy, like magnets. So what we're doing is we're fine-tuning our own energy by what we focus on and what we feel to become a magnet to more of what we want. So similarly, like if we focus on lack and scarcity and not being enough, whether in love or money or elsewhere, we tend to see more of it. And similarly, as we let go of that, we tend to tune into the abundance and we tend to feel light about it, we tend to see things that will reflect more and more of what we do want as well. So where do you start? So again, I would, if I was to put it really simply, I would say to someone, what would you like? Go into more detail about it, and how does it feel right now? And if you think about having it now, what comes up for you? So what I was saying earlier, do you feel scared? Do you feel conflicted? So do you feel like if I have a relationship, well, I might lose my freedom, I might lose my independence? So then you've got to, in a sense, work with your perception that actually, how can I have even more freedom by having a relationship? So it's like, so it's not a conflict anymore. It's actually a synergy where actually by having a relationship, I actually have even more freedom and enjoyment and joy in my life, which is what I want, you might say. So explore any conflicts you have. That's a big one, because if you have a conflict, subconsciously, a part of you will be sabotaging what you do want. So explore also if you have any fears. So sometimes I'll work with clients and students of mine, and women might, for example, say that they attract guys, but they don't actually have a connection with them, and they attract guys that are not really right for them. And I'll ask this particular woman. I'll say to her, okay, so what would happen if right now you have a guy that's absolutely, you have a deep connection with, so natural, so amazing, and you still feel so alive with him? How would it feel? And oftentimes they'll be like, oh. And I'll say, okay, what's that hesitation? Your body just responded unconsciously to it. And she'll often say something like, well, I feel I'll lose my independence, or I'll lose this. Okay, so that's why you've not been attracting the right guys, because deep down, you're actually scared of it. You've been attracting guys that are not quite right for you because you feel safe doing so. So instead, address the inner fear. And I've worked with people to do that, where they've let it go, and then within weeks, they've attracted an ideal man that they've been looking for. And so it's different for different people, but that's one way to get started.
That is so powerful. That is so powerful. Absolutely. If we have unconscious fears, they will stop us on our tracks. It doesn't
Yeah,
matter if we self sabotage and have reasons, excuses,
yeah.
and they sound so real to us. It's like, so reasonable. So I tell my clients, be unreasonable.
Yeah, exactly. And we tell ourselves these stories, and we tell others these stories about why things haven't worked out for us, and we then get
Yeah,
familiar with these stories, and we let those stories define us. But actually, maybe we've got to put those stories away now because they're not serving us. Again, what's the energy that story is offering now? Is it victimhood? Is it things not working out for you? So start to tell yourself the stories that do serve you energetically, and that's where you want to move towards as well. So sometimes it might be about healing. Is it that you've taken some in terms of being from a victim place? Is it sort of deny some element of responsibility? Is it painful to accept responsibility? And again, we're not saying blame. In a sense, we just have to kind of be at peace with where we are and allow it, and then grow from it, essentially. So yeah, be conscious of the stories we tell ourselves and what we tell others as well.
right, right. Absolutely. Thank you so much. There is anything else you would like to add that we didn't cover? It has been so packed, jammed with things. You speak so fast. It's only 17 minutes, but let's not go for quantity, let's go for quality. This
Yeah.
is quality, this is gold. Thank you, Hemal, for joining us. I'm so happy that you said yes to my invitation. I love everything you're saying.
Likewise. I mean, again, thank you for asking. Thank you for sharing what you have as well. I'm loving this interaction that we're both sharing so much here. And the one thing I would add is that you're asking about, again, if someone hasn't done this before, how would they do it? So we talked about that, and then just keep building it, because what will happen then is things may happen around you. So suddenly, as changes happen within you, suddenly you start to maybe see someone that you're attracted to, and then, but it's an ongoing journey. So now, let's say you go on a date, but it's like still working with whatever else may be there, because again, just because you go on a date doesn't mean you're going to get married tomorrow necessarily. You've got to do the inner work. So just because you may feel comfortable going on a date with someone, how do you feel about being in a long-term relationship with someone, and so on and so on. So but keep going. And so it's a series of little steps and big changes. But again, sometimes you may make some internal changes which will make big things happen, and so on and so on. But I think this is whether we talk about coaching or therapy or manifesting or law of attraction or whatever, it all ties together, which is it's about our own inner journey. And as we transform, the outer will change, putting it very simply.
Right. So I have one last question for you, if you don't mind.
Hmm.
So I believe in something called the power of unmanifestation.
Okay.
And that happens when our clients, they get on track, they're doing all the work, and they decide they're going to find their true love, and they are really, really getting out there, and then things happen. Their kids get sick, they get transferred to another city, or smaller things, they get sick, whatever. Obstacles, 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 obstacles. So do you believe in that?
So what can happen? So there can be reasons for that. So I mean, I know I've had a student sometimes where whenever she goes for great financial growth, she'll sometimes fall ill or something else will happen.
Right.
And so in her case, what I got her to explore was, okay, so you want to create great financial wealth or have a great career or a great business. What comes up for you when you have it? So oftentimes it might be we've got a conflict about it or some resistance to having it. So in a sense, as we go more towards it, we're in a sense turning up the heat on the friction, and that's bringing other things as well. So it's exploring, how do I feel about having what I want, and exploring what comes up. Do I feel conflicts around it? Do I feel fears? Is there some self-sabotage going on? So that could be happening. That's again, each situation may be different, but that could be some of what could be happening in some cases.
That's awesome. Thank you. I like your answer. Okay, can I ask you one more question?
Yep, go for it.
And this is personal, actually.
Hmm.
I, ladies, just to see that I'm not perfect. I do a lot of things. I meditate. I read my upwards part. I do a lot of things, but I have a hard time visualization.
Hmm.
Visualizing. Oh my God, that's a hard word to say. I speak Spanish, so English is my first. So what can you tell me to help me to help me visualizing? I would like to actually, I joined a challenge that is 30 days of
Hmm.
visualization and some
Hmm.
other things, and I didn't follow through because of that point. I was good with all the rest. I'm like, yes, let's do it, papa da papa. And then when that thing, I have such a hard time.
Hmm. Okay. So
Help.
Okay, so by the way, when we say visualization, of course, that for everyone that implies visual. Are you someone that's more like kinesthetic? You like to move your body physically? Are you more auditory?
I
Yeah.
do. I
Okay.
run like crazy and go to the gym, and yeah.
Yeah. So this is the thing, everyone. Like again, remember earlier with the visualization question, I said that visualization is one tool towards our own energy. So
Um,
essentially, how do I live the energy of what I want now? So, for example, Natalia, you're very kinesthetic, you're physical, you're tactile, perhaps. So it's like, how can you move around and operate in the energy as if you have what you want? So how can I live right? So next 5 minutes, for example, how can I live in the energy of what I want? How would I be moving? How would I be thinking? So many years ago, I wanted to manifest a Jaguar car, and part of the visualization was I just imagined, or I say visualization, I was imagining me holding a steering wheel and actually being in the car and feeling the vibrations and the purr of hearing the purr of the engine and so on and so on. So we can use other senses. The main point being, it doesn't have to be visualization. It could be feeling it in a tactile level. If you're walking around with your new lover, how would it feel? If you have the new job you want, how would you be? Would you be writing checks? Would you be checking your bank account? What would you be doing? So how can you, in a sense, act out and live out the new reality in some form or another? Another way is, if it's not visualization, you could write down things. So you could write down statements of how you feel about what you want right now. So it might be like, you're shaking your head. Oh, no, is it
Like,
something
you
you've done?
read my mind. I'm
Yeah.
like, you read my mind. That's exactly what was going on here. I said, I'm going to write it down
Yeah.
and then I'm going to visualize it.
Yeah, and again, even if you don't visualize it, so something I used to do years ago is I'd write down three statements of how I feel about whatever the situation is that I'm working on. Then I would look at those statements and I'd look at how do they feel, because what's the vibration they're offering? Because if they're going through my mind all day long, that's the vibration I keep offering. So I look for the worst vibration one and I change it or I heal it to improve the vibration, or I find a better statement, a better feeling statement, and then take that on board. The only thing is you want to make sure that the new statement you resonate with more than the old one, essentially. So now you're kind of raising the vibration of how you think, and then you do that with the other ones, and you keep doing it. Eventually, when you're thinking a whole new different way, and suddenly things are happening around you because you're changing from the old energy to new energy. So that's by using words and language. You can do it tactile, like I said, by physical moving around and so on. You can visualize visualize, you can talk to others, you can record stuff for yourself. Some people may record affirmations for themselves and play them back on their phones or their earphones or so on. That's another way of doing it. So many different ways of working with energy.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. You did answer my question. And more. Thank you so
My
much from
pleasure.
the bottom of my heart. It has been a pleasure. You're such a great guy. You do embody the great energy. You're just so generous and fun to be around. I love your energy.
Likewise,
Ah,
I find myself in a fantastic summit.
I thought
Hmm?
you couldn't see me, and I'm going like this, and you're like, I can see you.
Before we started recording, I said I had an issue with the monitor, so I couldn't see it that clearly, but I see well enough. Yes.
Okay, okay. So I know you have a present for our ladies. Would you
Mhm.
mind to share it?
Yeah, so it's a bundle of ebooks I've created. So I run a membership program, Manifesting Excellence, and I do webinars. And from that, I've created from some of the masterclasses, I've created an ebook bundle. And the main element of it is so the bundle we're calling Deep Connection, Self Love Secrets, Deep Connection, Self Love Secrets, and Love Manifesting Breakthroughs. Essentially, so Deep Connection, Self Love Secrets, Love Manifesting Breakthroughs. And the first one is about self-love and manifesting from a place of wholeness. And that PDF has beautiful, colorful imagery and lots of, sort of images of slides and so on. About tapping into your own self-power, manifesting from wholeness, letting go of perfectionist tendencies and OCD, living from the qualities of unconditional love. Because, like we said earlier, you've got to live from the energy of what you want to experience in your life. If you know about shadow work, so there's 2 slides with 20 questions each. You can ask yourself, so over 40 questions on shadow work with yourself and much more. And so that's the one about self-love and manifesting from a place of wholeness. And if you're someone that likes to work with more of the subconscious type stuff as well, there's another PDF there about 50 transformational ways to subconscious breakthroughs. And again, that's got 50 tips, lots of lovely images in there, ways to connect more to your subconscious. And if you're someone that's more into like symbolic language and symbology and so on, there's another one on understanding symbolic manifestational language. So we've created a bundle there, which you'll get a lot, I'm sure, a lot from that will hopefully transform your journey forward.
Oh my God, I love it. I love it. The link is in the description box of this video and also on the email you got. It's so funny that you said about the last one. I love them all. I'm gonna get them for sure. But last night I had a dream, and the dream was about I was coaching a client, and she was a Spanish speaker, and she needed the coaching so badly, but she couldn't find any before. She couldn't find any coach, anything in Spanish. So I got this very, very strong feeling that I should start doing something in Spanish. And I mean, needless to say, I have been told I should be doing this for many, 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 many years. And I always resisted it. I don't know why. But I'm gonna take the dream I had last night
Mhm.
really moved me because I could feel how happy she was that I could help her. And if I can help, I don't know, another woman, even if it's
Yeah,
one, you know.
yeah.
So yes, symbols, dreams, all that are so, so important. Thank you so much. Thank you.
My pleasure. Thank you for inviting me. It's an honor to be a part of your event.